All right, we are live for the Celtics live post-game show. Happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday Celtics win to everyone. But damn, that came down, I guess, a little bit closer to the wire than I would have liked. The Celtics just seem to love to do it to us. They love to do it to us. Yeah, we're going to beat this team by 20 points. No. No. Come fourth quarter, we'll make this a game. Don't worry, we're going to keep your attention here. It's like they're trying to hold the audience all the way through. But yes, the Celtics did take the dub, so, we can't be too harsh or too negative on it. But I mean, man, it's like if there's one thing we've seen so far this year, it's that the Celtics take these big leads and say, you know what? We don't want to win by a bunch. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to win by a lot of points when we can win by, single digits rather than winning by triple digits like we could? But anyways, I don't even know if I've said the score yet. So the Celtics take the dub 116-107. I don't have the number up in front of me, but I know they were up by, 20 points, if not near 20 points during that game. I mean, it's just what they do. Now, we've seen them. This is the thing. I'm gonna spin zone this. Ready? Get ready for this. I'm gonna spin zone this into something a little bit more positive. All right. Last year, and even years prior, we kind of saw them take these big leads, right? Take these big leads and make it a game at the end, just like they did tonight, but then lose those games. At least this year, they're taking these huge leads, dwindling those leads down, sometimes even losing the leads and having to come back, like we saw, multiple times this year, not necessarily in this game, but, the difference between the past few years and this year, and this might just be my biased opinion here, is that they're actually, and let me know if you guys see this, they're actually winning these close games. I don't know if that's just like, recency bias or anything like that, but I feel like all the time we used to see the Celtics kind of get in these close games, blow the lead, and then it's like, here we go again, they're going to lose the game. At least this time, and at least this season, they've blown the lead, but not blow the game. I don't know. I'm trying to spin zone it because it's like we're getting to a point, I know we're only a handful of games into the year still, but we're getting to a point where it's like, hey, the 20-point lead, it don't matter. Does not matter. Who cares about the 20-point lead? We're going to make it a game towards game end. But let's get into some of the box score here. Again, it was 116-107. Celtics take the dub. Box score, let's see if I can blow it up for you guys to make it a little bit bigger. Boom. All right, Jayson Tatum, 30-plus point night for him again. 14 of 27, which is 52% from the field. 3 of 9 from 3, not the best, but, the 32 points, 5 rebounds. He did his job. That game, and we'll talk about Bradley Beal, and I think in a little bit in this stream too. That game, started, and there was times where it didn't really go back and forth, but I was totally there for it. I tweeted it out. I loved the let's do, Bradley Beal and Tatum back and forth. That's awesome to me. I mean, as long as the Celtics secure a win, I love that because, like I said, we'll talk Bradley Beal. I like Bradley Beal. I think he's amazing. But seeing him and Tatum, and if you don't know, they're good friends, seeing them go back and forth is dope. And Bradley Beal was talking, you could tell he was, friendly trash talking, which I like, I guess. But, yeah, it was just good to see them go back and forth. But then, another start of the night, and we're just saying this, like who am I even to say, oh, and Jaylen Brown went off. When I talk post-game now, it's pretty much like a given that Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown went off tonight. I don't even know why I make it seem like it's another big deal. But Jaylen Brown, 27 points, 13 rebounds, double-double for him. He had 5 assists, too. So those guys, take the points, take the way they're scoring. They are working on other parts of their game too, which is great. But Jaylen Brown a little bit less efficient than normal, and that's just because he's been so efficient this season. But he shot 50% from the field and 50% from 3. But yeah, let's get to some of your comments here. We got a chunk of them to start the stream here. Let's get to some. Chief is saying almost blew that, but we will take it. Gear saying I will take it. Chief is saying, how about my dog Taco representing UCF like a dog? Taco Fall. I'm going to pop up the box score again. Taco Fall, 19 minutes played tonight. 19 minutes played. I don't think he stunk. I saw, a few people saying on Twitter, like, oh my God, he definitely isn't an NBA ready body and whatnot. That's like fair. You know what I mean? That's fine. Fine. But for the fact that Taco Fall to go out there and not just stink, that's saying something. That's a good sign. I love to see it. 4 points from him, 8 rebounds, 2 of 3 from the floor, turnovers 0. I'm not going to lie, looking at that in the box score kind of surprised me. I feel like there's a couple times he got a rebound and it got like stripped from him. But hey, Taco, shout out to Taco for, stepping up when the injuries were at its worst in the front court. And he was just like, yeah, let's see what I got. Let's go out there and see what I got. But yeah, shout out to Taco. Gear saying, what is wrong with Smart? We could talk Smart in a little bit because he's not having a very good year, in my opinion. So we'll talk him in a little bit. Maddie saying, happy Friday to you. AC saying, holy crap, we need to do this every game by a big. Oh, AC's already got me tripping up my words in the first 10 minutes of the stream. Holy crap, do we need every game to be joined by a big jug of Pepto? Donovan saying, Taco smacking that ball straight out of Westbrook's hands. Birkin saying, Smart's body must be full of purple bruises. So I hope you might be saying that as a positive there, because I do think, and we can just get into it. I'll get to some more of the comments. If you left your comment, I will get to it. I promise. I'm gonna get to some of the Marcus Smart slander and Marcus. I'm gonna talk Marcus Smart for a second because we talked about it on the last post game. I didn't rip him, but I definitely mentioned, it was a bonehead move for him to yell at the ref at the end of the game, right? And that kind of instilled in a lot of the viewers in the stream, Marcus Smart hate. We got into it, and, I was saying he's not having a good year. And even it's in the chat already that Marcus Smart, what's wrong with him? I think, Gear, you had mentioned it. Marcus Smart, I think he's getting a bad rap this year. I know he's shooting and not making shots, but I feel like there's two parts to this, and I'm not trying to be like a Marcus Smart fanboy here, but I do think he's getting hammered on some of these layups and then just not getting a call. I'll give him a little bit of that. I'm sure plenty of it is warranted, not calls. Maybe he's flopping, but you're lying if you're watching every time Marcus Smart's driving to the hoop and saying, nope, he didn't get fouled at all. Even at the end of the game against the Heat, you probably could have gotten a call. Not at the end of the game, though. I think that's what Smart probably needs to realize, that I don't think the ref's going to end the game on that type of ticky-tacky foul, but I'm going to that's the 1 point towards Marcus Smart that I'm saying, okay, defending him for a little bit. And you guys can let me know if I'm crazy in the chat. Go right ahead. But the second point I want to make is that I feel like everything we're judging Marcus Smart on is happening, not necessarily this game, but happening in the last 48th minute of the game, and then it's Marcus Smart hate. Which, to some degree, fine, it makes sense because, he's taken a couple questionable shots that could be game winners or that sealed a loss against the Pistons. But I feel like we're forgetting about the hustle, the grind, the diving for loose balls, the taking charges on Giannis's opening night, all in the first 47 minutes of the game. So, before we jump to the market, and I'm only saying this, I'm not even seeing it that much in the chat. I'm only saying it because when I tweeted out that was a bonehead move at the end of the game against the Heat, go read the replies to that tweet. Everyone was saying, trade Smart. He's nothing now. He brings no value. We have Pritchard. Trade Smart. We don't need Smart anymore. He brings nothing. Literally a long, long list of comments. So that's kind of what I'm defending here, not what's been said in the chat tonight. So let me get to some of the chat that's actually here tonight instead of me pushing my problems with the people commenting on my tweet onto the stream. So let's get to some of this. Tracy saying JB is balling 27, 13, and 5. Can you say All-Star? Can you say All-Star Jaylen Brown? How about this? We just launched these. I'm gonna show you guys a little sneak peek because I haven't tweeted it and we haven't tweeted it from the account. They are available right now. So, you guys have the exclusive right now. But how fire are these? Not the P-Rabbit. I mean, that's fire too. But the hoodie, the All-Star, and the T-shirt, Jaylen Brown. Little sneak peek for the stream crowd here. Again, they're available. We just haven't really pushed them yet or promoted them yet. They just launched. AC saying, worried COVID will pause the season. Yeah, a lot happening. And hopefully that's not the case. I don't want to hear, I'm not here to talk COVID or talk anything else that's going on in the world outside of basketball because I'm too much of a dum-dum when it comes to that stuff. But I had COVID and it can be the real deal. So, it kind of put me into perspective. Oh my God, like I wouldn't want to give that to someone that's older. I wouldn't want to go to my my mom's or my dad's house and even drop something off with them and potentially give it to them, So it is the real deal. So it's like, I don't know how that connects to what we're talking about here, but me having it and having a couple rough days of like, holy crap, these symptoms are real. I can see why, it's kind of a scary time. And it's kind of put me into perspective of it. Because even, when the NBA first shut down, and I'm sure like a lot of you guys, I didn't exactly fully understand it. And I was like, oh, come on, these guys can play. They're athletes. They have the immune systems of, God, like they can do this. It's a beast. So let's hope that's not the case, AC. Chief is saying Pritchard is a hustle god. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I probably would have failed to bring it up on the stream. Like, Pritchard, there was times, and I'm wondering, was it later in the game? When Taco had that dunk down low, Pritchard started that. Pritchard, the shortest guy on the court, kind of got his finger in there and made the ball tip around, whatever, bounce around, and all of a sudden it ends up in Taco Fall's hands for a dunk. And I was like, that was Pritchard. That's not going to show up on the stat sheet as a Pritchard play. It's going to show up as a Taco dunk, but Pritchard was the reason that happened. It was great. Gears checking in on Twitch. All right, this is a good opportunity, and guys, I promise you we're getting to chat. The reason I have the chat on let's see what we got here, right here on the stream, is so we can be accountable now. You know what I mean? You guys can actually see how much chat we're getting rather than me just scrolling it. But I want to say this. So we are streaming YouTube right now. We are still on Periscope for now, but as some of you guys know, Twitter is actually cutting off Periscope and closing them down. They bought them a while back, but we're not sure what's going to happen with Periscope. When we know Periscope's going right, we're not sure what's going to happen with Twitter Live. So we've kind of migrated and set ourselves up for success over on YouTube. And we're also streaming on Twitch right now, but I think we're focusing on YouTube, if I'm being honest. So if you're watching on Periscope right now, go check out the link I tweeted to the YouTube channel. It's not just the streams we're doing. We're putting out videos. We're putting out, other content on the YouTube page as well. So please head over to the YouTube. Even if you're just in the stream right now and you're enjoying it, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this stream and, throw a comment down below, keep in the chat, everything like that. We're really trying to build that YouTube platform. And I know the regulars in the streams, they could probably give that spiel better than me at this point because they hear it every single night. But it's the truth, guys. It's got to happen at some point, and it's not going to build, it's not going to grow until if I don't talk about it. Emmanuel saying they need to have an aggressive mentality even when up. Yeah, it's a great point. And you know what? I'm going to even build on that point. I think it's a good point because don't you kind of expect that? Not that it's good. We shouldn't expect it. Like, I want more from Tatum and Brown, but isn't that the type of thing that you would expect from young leaders? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to defend the fact that, we get up 20 and it's like, oh, let's make this a close game because we're young. Like we're just kids. No. I'm not trying to defend it, but it does kind of make sense rather than if we had like a 28 and a 30-year-old leader, like not letting us lose those games. This is, I think, safe to say it can be explained as young leadership. Also, sometimes questionable coaching and whatnot, but I don't think we have to talk about that tonight. But either way, I think that it's fair to say, this is something that you can sometimes expect, I guess, from young leaders. Why not, right? Let's see. Gear's saying they effed up putting Beal on Tatum so much. I have a feeling that Scott Brooks was like, no, I don't want you to cover him. Beal's like, no, I'm covering my boy. The Celtics, you noticed late in the game, Brown was covering Beal. Actually, for a lot of the game, Brown was covering Beal. They didn't do this like, hey, we're playing in the park. Let's cover each other. No, they did the best matchups. Bradley Beal can't cover Jayson Tatum. I don't care how close of friends they are. He can't cover Jayson Tatum. But yeah, that was a mess up on their end. Like, Jayson Tatum, as great and as good as Bradley Beal is, I love Bradley Beal. 41 points tonight, 16 of 29, and then 4 of 9 from 3. Bradley Beal's a beast. But putting him on Tatum, come on now. And isn't that the great thing that we've gotten to a point with Tatum where it's like, if you put anyone that just can't cover him, he's going to go off. He has that confidence. He has that ability. And it's great. AC says, Kemba's back next week. My daughter is stoked. So, yeah. Kemba's coming back. What do they say Friday is the goal or something? That's amazing. We're finally going to see, what the Kemba plan is. Because as of right now, guys, you got to realize this. We've created this sort of load management, ease them back in. That's the narrative on Twitter. That's the narrative that we've created. As far as like from the Celtics camp, it's pretty much Kemba's healthy, let's play basketball. So we've kind of already set ourselves up for the expectation that this is a lingering thing. Like, let's take it slow. But that hasn't come out of the Celtics camp, like, and I guess it slightly has. I don't mean to say they've been like, hey, he's 100%, let's play basketball. No, but I'm just saying we've definitely like pushed the narrative as fans, saying like, oh, Kemba, it's a lingering knee injury. It's going to be a problem for a while. Let's see how it works. The Celtics have just been like, Kemba's going to be back, X, Y, and Z. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Steven saying, are we going to talk about Smart Part 2? I do think we talked about it a little bit, maybe later in the stream as well. Guys, if you're on the stream, hey, share it around. Get your friends in here. Get your boys, your girls. Get your mom, your dad, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your grandmother, your grandfather, step-siblings. Get them in the stream. Let's talk some Celtics. Gear says, Pritchard needs to be more involved. As much as we love Smart, we need to trust PP enough to take it up. Yeah, but at the same time, and I'm not disagreeing with you, at the same time, he did hit a couple big shots, and he's still a rookie, so I think the minute you force your involvement to Pritchard is you could get in trouble. Now, I don't think you will, so that's where I think you're right here, PJ. Like, if you have the ability, and Pritchard deserves to be involved, but the minute you force and rely on a rookie, you're setting yourself up for failure, no matter how good that rookie is. There's enough guys on this team that they shouldn't have to rely on him. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I hope that makes sense. You really want to see him shoot more. Yeah, I mean, he could shoot. He had a couple times where he could have taken a catch and shoot and didn't. But that's only a few shots that I can even think of. Jordan says, can we talk about the 20-point lead gone when Jaylen went to the bench? Jaylen is sort of the tone setter this year. Jayson Tatum's going off, making, buckets. Obviously, he's a walking bucket. But Jaylen Brown, and I think this dates back to last year. Definitely, early in the bubble, and I think just last year in general. Jaylen Brown kind of decided the momentum of the game. I really, really believe that. If you haven't seen that yet, get ready to watch next game. Jaylen Brown is sort of the, even if the ball's not going through him, or even if he's not making an offensive or defensive play, when he's on the floor, I just see the momentum change. And, I mean, it was just clear tonight. He was a 21 plus 21. You know what I mean? And Tatum, who had more points than him, -6. So, Stiz saying, yo, Ev, what's up, man? Gear saying John Collins. John Collins, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of the talk about that. It seems like he's, I don't know. What I read, he ragged on Trae Young and then was like, yeah, but he's my teammate. I love him. It's like, what? That doesn't even make sense, dude. What's going on there? Like, you're not happy with how he runs the team, but he's my teammate, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. It's like, well, okay. That ship has sailed, my man. Let's see. Still saying Smart handled that foul very well. Great maturity. Steven, some of them aren't fouls, I'm not going to lie, but some are. A lot are just flopping, and I love them. Yeah, so that's the thing. I'll take the Marcus Smart hate as long as people can end the sentence just like you did, and I love him. The amount that Marcus Smart has done, outside of this year, as a Celtic so far, the amount that Smart has done, guys, you can't go 10 games into the 2021 season and say Marcus Smart stinks, trade him. And I think he's done plenty good this season as well. But the Marcus Smart slander, I'm saying this. I'll allow Marcus Smart slander if you really have thought about it and you really feel that way, because there's a lot about Marcus Smart's game that you can get pissed off about. I'll give you that. But if you haven't done the due diligence, that's a tough one, I guess. Can't say that word. The due diligence of taking a step back and saying, all right, do I really, really want to crap on this guy, or is it just like I'm mad at him? You know what I mean? Like, if you do your due diligence, if you think about it and you still want to rag on Marcus Smart, by all means, because he deserves it in some senses. I'm just not on the boat yet because I think, I think he adds so much more to this team than some of these things he's being accused of. Donovan saying, say we somehow get a chance to pick up Beal. What do you think we'd have to give up for him? So we talked about this in the last stream, right? And I had said, I love Bradley Beal. Always have loved Bradley. I love Bradley Beal. Boy, I hope he doesn't come here now, because I would stumble with that name all day long. But I love Bradley Beal. I feel like I've always thought you'd have to give up Jaylen. And I've always kind of teetered back and forth with, okay, well, would I give up Jaylen for Bradley Beal? Now, this season of Jaylen, I'm kind of like I just went on the rant about how Jaylen really is the tone setter of this team. Now I'm kind of thinking, like, would I? Like, Bradley Beal's a superstar, but Jaylen Brown could be a superstar in, 2 games. You know what I mean? Like, so it's tough, and the trade exception obviously changes things a little bit now. Obviously, the team still has to accept the trade on the other end. Like, they're not just going to take money for a Bradley Beal type of thing. But, I still think you'd have to give up a big package for him. And as much as I love Bradley Beal and somehow wish he would come here, I feel like you'd have to give up too much. So, I don't know. We'll see. Donovan saying All-Star Brown hoodie, instant cop. It is. I mean, those things, that's, again, this is the marketing mind of me. I'm like, okay, we can launch these shirts and hoodies, but he's not an All-Star yet, and I don't want them selling out before he's even an All-Star. So that was my mind. I was like, all right, we can launch them. The natural traffic can see them. The stream traffic gets the inside scoop. Shout out to you guys, but we're not blasting it on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot yet. Let's see. Steven's saying this about Marcus Smart. He's very important to the team, but he's overplaying a bit. Tatum and Brown are the scorers, and I feel like he tries to do a little too much. Honestly, it's perfectly said. Like, I'll say that. The one problem I have with Marcus Smart is he's doing too much. And that, you can extrapolate that all, vocab word right there, ladies and gentlemen. You can take that all the way down to when he is getting fouled. By the time Marcus Smart's getting fouled, he's almost already done too much. Whether or not the ref calls the whistle or not, the 7 spin moves and the 3 between the legs and the up and under that he tried to pull to get him to the point of being fouled, he probably, odds are, did too much to get there, right? So, perfectly said. Kudos to Steven there. Steven, you got to hop over to the YouTube, man. Great points over here. Periscope's not going to... If you keep with the Periscope here and the Twitter viewing, you might not be able to drop, high quality comments like that once we move to YouTube. I'm telling you guys, the marketing brain is on tonight. Gear saying he's got 3 tabs open: the Periscope, the YouTube, and the Twitch. That's the OG. Saying thoughts on Teague. Guys, if you've been coming in these streams over and over again, I've said Teague's going to be a big part of this team. He's going to be, by mid-season and whatnot, he's going to be a crucial guy off the bench. I don't know if I really, really believe in that as much anymore. By the game, I'm starting to doubt myself. I still think he's an absolute upgrade over the previous guy, right? I think he's an absolute upgrade over you-know-who. So take that for what it's worth compared to last year. But I don't know if he's going to be what I claimed he was going to be. I don't know if he's going to be the end-all, be-all of backup point guards. Like, I could see Jeff Teague continuing at this rate being like a coach's decision, did not play type of thing. I hope that's not the case. I hope he actually does play, because I think that he's got game in him. Like, think about this. Teague's getting to the hoop, making moves on big men, go blowing by them, and just missing layups. Like, missing layups. But that doesn't mean he's not, like, getting to the hoop. You know what I mean? So if these layups fall, if like 3 of his shots fall tonight, he has a double digits game. He shot like 80% from the floor. So I know, hey, we're looking at a big if there. I'm not going to lie. Like, I get that. But I'm not sold that Teague's done. I'm just cooler on him than I was before. AC, Jayson Tatum continues to remind me so much of Paul Pierce. Yeah, some of these mid-range sidestep, like, where it doesn't look like, the biggest thing I see is it, like, doesn't look like he's creating a bunch of space, but he's creating so much space. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tatum pulls that Paul Pierce move out of the bag all the time. Guys, if you're leaving comments and, it's a while before I catch up with them, I'm going to get to them, I promise. Hang out in the stream. Keep dropping comments. Like the video on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. I'm getting to comments here. If you're new to the stream, I get to the comments depending on how quickly. That's still up in the air, but I get to your comments if you say it. All right? All right? The real ones will tell you. Greg says, Taco, what a guy. Played good in his time tonight. Yeah, we talked about it not to start the stream, but earlier in the stream. The fact that Taco Fall went in there, and this is my take on it, actually, now that I've thought about it, so I'm glad it's being brought up again. The fact that Taco Fall went in there and didn't hurt them, that's a plus. Because every time Taco Fall goes in there, usually, I was going to say he stinks. He does, but he hurts them. You know what I mean? Unless it's the end of the game and he makes a dunk and everyone forgets about, like, the time he lost the ball. I'm not trying to rag on Taco Fall. Look at this. I forgot he was even over here. Shout out to Foco for sending me this last year. Come on, stop focusing on me. Focus on Taco. Anyways, it's a beautiful bobblehead. But I'm not trying to rag on Taco Fall, but it is such a plus that the fact that he went in for an extended run tonight and didn't hurt them is amazing. All right. Gear says, I wish they stopped using PP like a corner shooter. He should be bringing the ball up more, and I would like to see him shoot more. Yeah, I think we're going to see that. Like, think about his 23-point night. And now, barring that was with all the guards in America, injured on the Celtics. So, fine. But he's shown what he can do. And I don't think Brad Stevens, dumb to that fact that he can handle the ball. He can start the offense. I think it's just a matter of, and it's similar to what I said earlier to you too about him. I feel like it's just a matter of they're not overly reliant on him right now. So why force the issue? You know what I mean? But I agree. I think he deserves. I don't think so. He doesn't need more shots. I know you're saying you want to shoot him. You want to shoot Peyton Pritchard. I know you're saying you want him to shoot more, but it's not like necessary right now. Do you guys get what I'm saying? It's like he's the perfect type of it will come. It's going to come for him. He's going to make his impact and his play on this team. I'm confident of that much. But if you don't see it some nights, you just got to know it's going to come. So just be patient with Pritchard because we've seen that he can do it. That's the good thing. That's the good thing that we've seen him do it. They're just not going to it as a team. The bad thing would be if they're going to it as a team and it just ain't working out. That's the negative. The positive is when he can do it and they're slow playing and slow rolling into it. Emmanuel saying Brown plays more like Pierce. They both, I think, and I'm wondering if it's just because of the Celtics jersey, right? But they both do have a little bit of Paul Pierce in them, especially when Jaylen Brown slows it down a little bit and just looks so calm, cool, and collected. He has a lot of that in him. Chief B saying Brown and Tatum both first team All NBA. I mean, if this keeps going, how could you not? How could you not? We did a YouTube video about it. When they did Basketball Reference had their list of the MVPs, how were Tatum and Brown not on that list? It was crazy to me. It was crazy to me the fact that Tatum and Brown were not on the list. Let me see. This is puzzling and troubling to me. Someone's got to explain this to me. Here we go. Someone has got to explain this list to me. This is even more updated than I was talking about before. What are we looking at here in a world where Chris Middleton, 21-6, is on a top 10 MVP list over Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, and Malcolm Brogdon's in second, 23-7? Like, can someone tell me what I'm looking at? I know that this is going to change. Like, Malcolm Brogdon does not have a chance in hell of 16% of winning MVP, okay? I understand that. But can someone explain why I'm seeing these names on this list and not Jaylen Brown and not Jayson Tatum? That much I'd love to know, guys. Like, am I just the dummy in the room that doesn't understand how that list is calculated? Because all I'm looking at is the numbers everyone cares about for MVP. Points, assists, rebounds, and then, whether or not you're on a decent team. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are checking the hell out of those boxes. I don't know. I don't mean to get carried away on some list that, in early January about the MVP race. But that just shows the sleeping of everyone on these two guys. Let's see. Danny's saying, I'm surprised that Smart didn't get teed up at the end of this one, too. I mean, he's walking a thin line and a tightrope, or whatever the saying is, on thin ice. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So, and it's, I don't know. Marcus Smart hasn't been as smart as he has been in the past. Pun very much intended. Keeks are saying these blowing big leads late in the game can't continue to happen. Brad has to find a way to stagger Brown and Tatum's minutes better so you have at least one of them on the court at all times. I hate to break it to you guys, but last year when they had 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, Brad Stevens still found a way to have no star on the floor. So Brad Stevens got these weird-ass rotations sometimes, and the fact that he only has the 2 guys now, I don't know, man. I don't know how confident I am in Brad doing that. It's like he gets these rotations in mind and just can't see the light of day. Like, even this, you're totally right, by the way. I forgot to acknowledge the comment and say correct before I, ripped it apart. Brad Stevens, it's like the other team's on like a 20-10 run, or not, that's actually a long, like, sometimes it's like a 10-0 run. The Celtics haven't even scored, and Brad Stevens still doesn't call a timeout. Come on. Greg says, I think Marcus Smart being traded is a lot more likely for next year. Don't think he likes his role. So, Greg, when you say that, are you calling for Marcus Smart's head, or are you saying, okay, you could see it? Because if you could see it, I agree with that. But if you're calling for his head, I don't know. I don't know if it's time to be calling for Marcus Smart's head yet. I'm not saying you are. I'm asking the question. Let's see. How is the Celtics team going to work on keeping these 20-point leads? We've let these games get too close for comfort. Yeah, something's got to happen. Something has to happen. A legend says, Taco kind of played decent today. It was great. It was great to see. It was like he didn't kill them in there. He didn't kill them, meaning he actually was able to play decent minutes and not really hurt them. And lo and behold, plus 13, plus minus. Had a positive game. AC says, for every bad turnover Smart makes, and he makes them, he makes at least 2 critical plays down the stretch that win games. Tonight is a perfect example. I think so too. That's why I'm not ready to call for his head yet. I will say this, though. As talking about making plays down the stretch, Marcus Smart does it defensively, but I think the reason and the thing that's catapulted the hate towards him this year is that he's tried to take it upon himself to make some offensive plays down the stretch, and he's missed the opportunity. If those aren't happening, I don't think people give a damn about him. I don't think people are hard on him, but I also don't think, he's getting the props he deserves. So I'll say that. Let's see. A legend says Marcus Smart this season, amazing defense, horrible offense. Yeah, but they don't need the offense right now, right? So it's like if you can get the Marcus Smart defense that you know and you truly love, then hey, it's not the worst thing in the world. All right. Matthew saying Taco played good and can't wait for when Romeo plays. And we've talked about Romeo on the stream before. To me, I can't see where he's gonna fit. I don't see where he's going to fit on the roster. That's not saying I don't think he's good or don't think he's going to be able to. I think I broke it down in the words last stream using the words, what was it? It's like when I'm watching these games, I don't see where Romeo Langford kind of fits in. Obviously, in nights like tonight when they're banged up and bumped and bruised, he would fit in. But that's the weird thing to me. It's like when I watch this, whether or not I believe in Romeo Langford or not, leave that aside for 1 second. Where do I see Romeo Langford fitting in this team? And then I'm kind of like, come on, keep looking. You got to figure it out because I don't see it. I don't see where he fits in yet. I hope he can fit in because he was a lottery pick. I'm rooting for the kid, and he showed some damn good defense, right, last year. I just got to figure out where he could fit in because he's a wing player. This team's got the wing. Semi Ojeleye is playing really well, at least, relatively speaking. So it's like I got to see where Romeo fits in because if he can fit in, then I think that's a huge plus to the team. Gear says YouTube doesn't have a character limits in the comments. There we go. Greg says Teague is still a former All-Star, even though it was a while ago. He's still a good bench player. Yeah, for sure. Chiefs backing me up saying Ev gets the F in comments. Marcus Easton saying hello. Gear saying can't wait till we beat this fraud Sixers team. And he says Nets just lost to the Grizzlies. This Celtics team is better than we looked when 1, we played the Sixers in that preseason game, and then 2, when we played the Nets preseason and regular season. This team's a lot better than we think. How much should Semi play per game to you? When they have big man injuries, I like what he did tonight, near 30 minutes. I mean, honestly, if Semi's going to play like this, if he's going to be out there and maybe, tonight was actually one of his off nights, which is weird from 3, and he still shot 33%. Still, I mean, it's not great, but it's, he's been a decent shooter, at least from the eye test. I don't have the numbers to back me up. If he's going to play like that, you could run him 20 plus minutes, to be honest. I would have never said that in the past. Last year, the year before, I would have never said that. But Semi Ojeleye has been pretty big for this team this year. So yeah, maybe 20 minutes. He played 27 tonight. I don't think I'm calling for a 27-minute a night Semi, right? But if he's gonna play and not hurt them every single night, then who the hell am I to say sit your ass on the bench, Semi? I think he's earned a role. I think he's actually, honestly, this is more or less about the lineup they have been starting when everyone's healthy rather than Semi Ojeleye. I think he's earned a starting spot almost because I'm not a huge fan of the 2-center lineup. And I think he could sort of be, and he played a lot of that tonight, that sort of hybrid, okay, I can cover someone bigger than me. It might not be the best coverage, but it's better than a lot of guys can do. Alrighty. Chief saying Smart shall never be traded, Celtics for life. Yeah, I want everyone that doesn't like Smart or wants Smart to be traded. I want everyone to kind of flip back to when, I don't know, less than a year ago and just think about how you felt about Smart. This is a new feeling that it's oh, screw Marcus Smart. He sucks at the end of games, blah, blah, blah. we've loved Marcus Smart for years. I don't like the 10-game sample size in the last minute in each game to kind of dictate what we think of him. So I do think he should be a Celtic for life. AC says, feel bad for Time Lord. Every time he gets rolling, something happens to him. Yeah, he's got to stay healthy. If Time Lord's going to be the breakout guy that I think he's going to be, he's got to be a healthy player. Chief saying, love the tenacity from Javonte Green. Yeah. I mean, when Javonte Green, you talk about a guy that makes the most of his minutes, it's him. 18 minutes tonight. He only had 7 points. He was 2 of 3. Like, he didn't do too much, but he gets out there and he wants to play. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 steals tonight. Javonte Green gets out there and he's like, all right, let's ball. And I love that because, he worked his way. He busted his ass to get a spot on the team last year. And now whenever he gets his opportunity, he's like, come on, let's go do this. I love that about him. Deshaun says, Brown and Tatum better than Kawhi and PG now. I mean, I think a lot of people would disagree, but I don't think it's long. I'll say this. Now, I think Paul George, kind of tucks it back when it comes to big games. So that's already a knock on him, where we've already seen Tatum and Brown also kind of just get up for big games. I think Kawhi Leonard's the big anchor in that argument, obviously. Now are you saying that these guys are top 5 players in the league at any given time? My answer to that is that I don't think it's long before they're better than Kawhi and Paul George. If anything that I'm seeing these past 10 games is true, I don't think it's long before they're considered a better duo. Kawhi, when you look at the duos, Kawhi might always be the best player being considered in the duos, but as a duo, you got to weigh both partners there, and I don't think it's long. Gear saying Smart wants to make you break your TV one play, and the next play he gets a charge and gets you hyped. Yeah, you have to run out and buy another TV. So yeah, that's the Marcus Smart effect. AC saying Time Lord has gotten hurt, but hard to fault him for COVID. Yeah. I was almost so when I just talked about Time Lord, I was talking about he's got to get healthy, got to take care of his body. I'm almost talking about the grand scheme of things in his career. Okay, COVID, a different animal. He could be he's just exposed type of thing. He could be fine tomorrow, and he's taken all the precautions and he didn't do anything stupid. I'm not trying to paint it out like, oh, he got injured again. I was just trying to throw it into everything he's done in his career so far. It's almost like right when he gets going, he always gets sort of injured. But yeah, you can't really fault him for, being exposed because other guys, are exposed too. Who knows where that could have originated with those guys. If Tatum or Brown goes out from COVID, are we going 0-4 that week? Chief says. Not 0-4. I think depending on, this is such a stupid, cliche answer. Depending on who we're playing in those 4 games. But it is true. I think that, Tatum or Brown are both good enough to probably beat some, not as great teams this year. Especially Tatum. I think Tatum can carry the bulk of a team any given night right now if they're playing a team that isn't that great. AC says Miami plays Washington tomorrow night. Might be tired coming into Boston Sunday. That's true. Yeah. And I think I said on the Tommy Points podcast that I host with Dante from Dante on Deck, and then Riley, who's Color Sports. I think me and Riley both said that they're definitely, or I think I, cemented it. Riley said they're going 4-0 over the next 4 games. And I think I sort of cemented that they're beating Miami twice. So we'll see. I just think that the Celtics were out for blood against Miami. They could have beat Miami by even a lot more last game. Gear saying Tice plays so much better when he starts as the only big man. Yeah, he's didn't he say he's not comfortable playing the 4 himself? That's the other weird thing. The other weird thing about Brad Stevens running the 2 center lineup. I think Tice after the first or second game was yeah, I don't like playing the 4. I don't like it. Out in public said it. This is a good one. Deshaun, keep these coming. I know you said one more, but feel free to jump into the stream anytime to drop these because I like these because we're finally getting to a point where it's not that ludicrous of these answers for me to say. You asked me last year, I'm probably yeah, dude, Tatum and Brown better than LeBron and Dwayne Wade in their championship run. No. But you ask Brown and Tatum or prime Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. I do think people forget how good that duo was. And, you obviously, everyone recognizes Paul Pierce to be the legend that he was. But I feel like people forget how good Antoine Walker was. But I'm going to say the same answer here. Like right now, I honestly might say if they keep playing like this, so I'm using in my defense when I'm saying, are they better than them? I'm going off of what they've done this year. And this year, I think so. Okay. I think we're looking at a team that is built on guys that, yes, are a better duo than Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. Is that going to be the case, in a week? Who knows what could happen? I don't know. But right now, I do think that they probably win that the way they've been playing. Chief saying, great post game today. Keep up the good work. Guys, thank you. I appreciate everyone that tunes in here. It's like I could come on here. I think I've said in the past I couldn't. I could come on here and talk for 30 minutes to an hour to myself. Like I could talk, especially talking Celtics basketball. I could do it. Trust me, I could do it. But do you know how much damn easier it is when I come in and can give my little spiel at the beginning, go on my little rant, whatever my big takeaway is from the game, and then straight up just look at the chat and have a conversation with you guys on this. Do you know how much better that is for you, for me, for the whole stream as a whole? It's like the community aspect of it. It's not like, just me dropping a post-game video and you guys watching it. No. It's like, it's this interactive, like, I don't know, man. Like the comments and the chat is really what makes a stream, is I guess what I'm saying. And, everyone says it plenty. Like, oh, great. Keep up the good work with the stream, Ev. It's like, well, how about you guys also just keep up the great work with the chat, Like, I mean that genuinely. So I do appreciate the love. I appreciate the love that we get on the stream. But, man, like the chat's awesome. And I say it each and every night. The real ones, the OGs, the names that I recognize, I love that stuff, man. And Chief, we got to get you as an OG. We got to get you over to the YouTube. So make sure to head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel, man. Because that's where these streams are going. But damn, like I feel like since we've talked about the YouTube and pushing it, I've almost upped the like, holy crap, like you guys really make this stream happen, and it's awesome because it was. And Wongy, I see you're checking in right now. Perfect timing. Do you guys remember, the ones that were in the stream when I was like, where should we do these streams? Blah, blah, blah. Wongy was straight up like, I don't care. You could do these streams in the bathroom. Oh, that's weird. Now that I'm going to say what he said, scratch that from the record. But he was like, I'll go where the stream goes. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the type of stuff that is awesome. And it's like, I know I'm coming on after Celtics game to talk Celtics, not to just give Ev's take on the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? So thank you to you guys. Chief, you probably didn't mean to make that an entire thank you to you guys. You were probably just saying, hey, good work, man. But yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. AC, you get to some more chats here. We're gonna close up stream pretty soon. But yeah. Tice is a 4, is more like a number. Tice is a 4 is more like a number 2. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When you force Tice, so they have to stretch the floor with Tice too. And this is just what comes to mind when you say that. If you have to stretch the floor, the 1 through 4 are definitely stretching the floor and spreading. And then all of a sudden you put Tice outside. Let's see. AC saying love the chat, incredible job, Ev. Thank you. Wongy with the thumbs up. Deshaun saying what's Robert Williams' ceiling? I think Robert Williams' ceiling is the starting center of this team and a potential like big 2.5 with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think obviously the moon for him is being that big 3 piece, but I really do think he has that ability. And I've said it before. Let me go on a little tangent on Robert Williams. If you take away, which I think we've seen this year, if you take away the mental lapses, the mental immaturity, the mistakes, the dumb things he does, you take those away, the potential and the positives that Rob Williams has are incredible and endless. You take away the fact that he jumps for a pump fake and hits his head on the ceiling of the arena. You take that away, all of a sudden you take when he jumps, he's jumping to block the ball. Do you know how valuable that is? You take away he sets a screen and has no clue how to roll, where to roll, and doesn't do it right. You take that away and take a guy that knows to set the screen, dive towards the basket, and get ready for the alley-oop. Do you know how valuable that is? So Robert Williams' ceiling is shitload higher than my ceilings, I'll tell you that. Because he's got some damn potential, and I can't wait to see him do it, because I do think we're going to start to see it this year. I think we have started to see it this year, to be completely honest. AC saying, how do we get Ev press creds for live streams from Causeway Street? Sean saying we still live. Yeah, we're here. Sean checking in via YouTube. These streams have been I don't know why. You know, maybe it's the YouTube. Not that anything's changed. What do you guys think of the new graphics, by the way? Just threw a couple of them up. I figured calling out the chat a little bit more would look a little bit better. But yeah, these streams have been a little bit longer. You know, we're usually hovering around 30 minutes, and past 3 games probably have averaged out to 50 minutes to an hour. Sean says, what a game. Yeah, the Celtics made it what a game, man. It didn't need to be what a game. Chief loves the graphics. Gear says, love the graphics. Hey, how about this? When we get this late in the streams, you guys are finally like, all right, the only reason I'm sticking around to the end of streams is now I can comment and Ev sees it right away because the chat's not flying. I know your little tricks. I know the little tricks. It's not that you enjoy being in the stream. You just know the strategy is if I stay long enough, then I can get my question heard and read in a timely fashion. Chief knows it. Yeah, honestly, you know, Sean, to your point, it was what a game, and we're gonna be able to talk and love love that game, especially with Tatum and Brown going off no matter what. But I don't know. I'm conflicted because when the Celtics, that gives the stream a little bit of gas and a little bit of juice to talk about because you have the positive of the win, but then also me being able to not be the green teamer I am and kind of rag on the team when they blow the lead. So now that I think about it, maybe these are the ideal games for streams. I don't know. Because you never want chat to be positive with no negative, but you never want it to be negative with no positive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Weird dynamic. Chief saying I got it. I know I'm a smart cookie. AC says no beers, great graphics. Yeah, no beers tonight. I don't even have an excuse. Maybe that's why the Celtics blew the lead. Gear says we got to get that Discord going so everyone can react during games. Yeah, so this is a Chief says shotgun sells for the dub. We'll do one of those soon. I think I did promise at the beginning of the year too that we'll do one live on stream because I only post the videos, and to this day, guys, I record that with my freaking iPhone. Till this day, people are like, "Nah, it's edited. It's not that fast," or he poured a bunch. It's not a real like. All right, I'm about to prove the haters wrong. I'll do it on a stream sometime soon. Not tonight, but sometime soon. Promise that. The problem is, okay, this is gonna sound wild. So I moved into this house in October, and we got an awesome fridge. And when I say awesome fridge, it has its own drawer for beverages in the middle. And you set it to the perfect temperature for beverages. And I put beers, I obviously shotgunning light beers is easier. You put them in that drawer, and when I take them out, they're so cold, which makes it amazing to drink. But to shotgun, it literally kills me. It literally kills me when I do it. When they're that cold. This fridge is it's amazing. But it stinks to shotgun. So the Discord. Yeah, so Gear has come up with the idea, and I think it's a great idea to start a Discord, and we can get everyone in it. I think it's going to be a really good way, and this is stuff that, I think Gear will be a big part of building it and helping me out with it because he's more familiar with it than me. But, having people joining the Discord to be able to talk games. I think maybe we can even run some post-game calls for you guys to get in the stream through there and whatnot. So keep an eye out for that. I think that's in the works. We'll see. Yeah, Chief says Discord for the win. So I do think it has its value. So definitely something that we'll continue to look into to see how we can utilize it. Because if it's like I said, I'm not as familiar with it as most. If it's that good of a way to keep the community growing and whatnot, then we can definitely check it out. Sean says I've seen Ev do it live. I mean, I think Sean's probably seen it multiple times. I shotgunned at Sean's wedding. So it doesn't get more live than that. Had the live audience, a bunch of people that had never met me before, some that hadn't met me before. But, how am I going to edit that? It's real life. You know what I'm saying? Gear says, how much do you think? Here we go, actually. Before we do that, I was stalling so I could play this. Sean, I found the video. This is Sean's wedding. Shout out to Sean. We look like snacks in our shirt and tie, him in his wedding suit. Here we go. I don't think we have the audio, but let's do it. Let me pause this too before I do it. Look at that perfect form. I think, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm cracking that with like a rusty screwdriver. Not the best move, but if you guys are fans of the shotguns, you know I don't always have the utensil, the normal key or anything like that on me at the time. But yeah. All right, let's see it. Perfect form. So clean, we could do it in the church, even though we're outside and a little bit spilled, but here we go. So the cameraman flipped it away a little too quick, but and there's the high five and the hug. Oh, Sean, happy wedding. That's back when you could hug people. But all right, guys, let's see. We got a Chief saying form on fleek. AC saying great pop game. But yeah, you should. I mean, I know the camera panned away for a second, but everyone was charging at me, and Sean had to block like 10 people. It did. It actually. I think that the screwdriver I think gave me like food poisoning because I was almost. And I'm not one to back down from a good time in beers, but I was like done after that. So I remember that too, Sean. But anyways, guys, you know, I think that's a good note to end the stream on. Again, appreciate the support. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, make sure to do so. We're gonna, you know, it's more than the streams on there. I'm making videos right now. We're gonna get some other guys from the site. You know, hopefully Sean, KJ getting on the site. I see you guys in the chat right now. To be able to post videos and stuff on there too. So it's like, it's gonna be it's worth your while to just click the subscribe button on the stream. Easy as that. So anyways, you know, until next time, we'll see you guys in the next game. Again, these streams are awesome. I love doing them. We're getting better each and every game. The Celtics are cooking. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown are cooking. We're cooking in here. And, you know, we've made some upgrades. We have the graphics. We have the screen share. We're showing box scores like this. We're showing shotguns. We're having a blast on these streams. And, you know, I can't thank you guys enough. And